All right, we are live. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy and co-host of the Savery Show, Avery Floyd. What's going on, people?
It's your boy and co-host Sterling Little John. How you guys doing this evening? Black Mamba status. Black Mamba
Yes, sir.
status, y'all.
As y'all could tell, today is Monday. We're recording Monday, August 23rd. The late great Kobe Bryant's birthday would have been 43 today. Y'all know that's Sterling's guy, favorite player of all time, man. So salute to you, salute to all Kobe fans out there. But it's been like a month or probably a little bit over a month since the last time we recorded. The last time y'all saw us, we actually had a really dope in-person episode in Atlanta. Bachelor party weekend. Shout out to Sterling. It was the coach. He was running the plays for the weekend. So
Oh man.
big shout out to Coach Sterling right there. Running the plays like Bill Belichick out there. So shout out to you, bro. The Phil Jackson of the
Phil
team.
Jackson.
But yeah, so y'all, man, it's been a minute. Obviously, there's been a ton of stuff going on. We're gonna focus heavily tonight in the NBA since we couldn't really finish what we did last time we recorded and also get into the NFL. We're excited. NBA talk, man, free agency, trades, the schedule released a couple of days ago. NFL's live preseason. Y'all know it's only 3 games this year. So preseason is almost over, actually. NFL season is literally a couple weeks away. So with that being said, bro, a lot to get into. But we're gonna start tonight with the NBA. So I'm gonna kick it to you, bro, and let's do a little recap about the NBA free agency period, some of the trades, and just kind of see where some of these teams now stack up as we're in the NBA offseason.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start probably with the biggest acquisition over the NBA offseason. The Lakers acquired Russell Westbrook from the Washington Wizards for a 2024 second round pick, 2028 second round pick, in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and Kentavious Caldwell Pope, and also the number 22 22nd overall pick that went to Washington as well. A lot of people have mixed feelings on the Russell Westbrook addition. Personally, myself, I do. I'm not for sure how it's really going to work. And the main reason I have questions about it is because LeBron and Russell Westbrook are very ball dominant. And I'm anxious to see how that's all going to work between Russell Westbrook and LeBron. And I just think in the past, we've seen how Russell Westbrook plays with other great stars, and it hasn't been a great transition. So I'm anxious to see how it's going to play out. Personally, I think LeBron is probably going to play off the ball a lot more than he's accustomed to doing. He's going to have to, because Russell Westbrook's not a great off the ball player because he's not a very good mid range and 3-point shooter. I'm anxious to really see how this all is going to play out, but we'll see. Moving on, another move that I think was very underrated was Lonzo Ball, signing with the Chicago Bulls for 4 years, $85 million. I think that's going to be a huge loss to the Pelicans, in my opinion. And personally, I think the Pelicans didn't use him great last year either. Stan Van Gundy, obviously, as we see, he just got fired recently, and I think that's reason why. He didn't really have a good pulse of the young team that is the New Orleans Pelicans. And I think Lonzo Ball leaving is really going to hurt that group, and I think it's really going to help Chicago in the Eastern Conference. Another move, before I get to other big moves that took place, one that I wanted to talk about personally is that, very briefly, is Jared Allen agreeing to a 5-year deal, $100 million with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wanted to bring that up just because I'm very happy for the young man. I think he has a lot of promise to be a very good big man in the league. I really miss him on the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, to give him up for James Harden, but I'm really happy for him that he got the deal and he really deserved it. So to Avery's team, Miami Heat. Uh, Obviously, they signed Kyle Lowry to a 3-year deal, $85 million contract, which I think is going to be a very good contribution to their team, obviously, because Kyle Lowry brings leadership and toughness at the point guard position. So I really think that's a very big upgrade for Miami. And on top of that, I know that him and Jimmy Butler are very good friends as well. So they'll feed off one another because they both have that mental and physical toughness about themselves. Duncan Robinson, he re-upped for 5 years, $90 million. I think was very crucial for Miami to bring him back. He's a 3-point sniper. and he brings a lot of flexibility and floor spacing to the team. So before I go on, do you want to speak about your Miami Heat, bro, real quickly?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One, I just got to say, man, for all the NBA players, superstars, role players, and bench players, there was a whole lot of money to go around. A whole lot of money. Bro, I know, and everyone listening, man, if you've seen these contracts that these players are getting, man, shout out to them, man. Get the bag, man. Get the money. A lot of players got paid. I'm happy they did too. But starting with, like you said, Kyle Lowry with my Miami Heat. Miami, he had a whole lot of money to spend this time, bro, as you know. And, I thought that they were in the running to trade for Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. It's been made clear that Bradley Beal, at least at this moment, still doesn't really want to be traded. So with that being said, if you're Miami Heat, you're like, okay, who can we legitimately get? We were not going to get Russell Westbrook. Okay, that's done with. So you bring back Duncan Robinson. Shout out to him, man. I mean, 5 years, 90 million for undrafted player, bro. Like, hats off to him, man. He is a sniper from three. Okay. Doesn't really play like tough defense, but in this league, bro, today's game, you need to shoot the three, man. So he will help that. He will help space of, well, I don't even say space the floor, but he'll be getting a lot of open looks. I feel like when you got Bam down low, Kyle Lowry running the point, so Jimmy Butler doesn't have to run the point as much as a lot of times that I watch the games, like in the fourth quarter with the Heat, they will kind of just defer to Jimmy to kind of run the show. And now he has someone who's a proven champion, right, with the Toronto Raptors, a veteran in the league who can, distribute the ball. We've seen Kyle Lowry take, charges in the end of the game when he needs to get a foul, to go the other way. So his leadership, his experience, his mentality, I believe, will fit with the Miami Heat culture. Obviously, bro, Jimmy Butler went to the bank, man, backed up the Brinks truck, with his new contract as well. So basically, Miami, they saw that, okay, got to bring, re-up Jimmy. We got Bam. You got Duncan. You still got Tyler Hero, who was, in a lot of trade talks, but he's still there coming off the bench. Even Oladipo signed, bro, and we know he's injury prone, and he didn't sign for a lot, which I'm okay with them bringing him back because they didn't sign for a lot. He's on a prove-it deal. He's going to come off the bench more likely than not. So it's really a win-win for the Heat. If he doesn't play that well, you get rid of him, you cut him, you trade him, whatever you want to do this season. But I'm excited to see how they stack up in the East, bro. Now, obviously, they're not on the level of your Brooklyn Nets. Nobody is if the Nets are healthy. But I'm looking at Miami Heat, honestly, bro, as really a top a top 3 or 4 team. You got to give respect and credit to Milwaukee Bucks, who just won a championship. So you got to look at the Nets, the Bucks. I would put the Heat, honestly, bro, right at 3 or 4. If you want to put the Heat at 3 and the Sixers at 4, or vice versa, depends how you like it. So we'll see what happens there, bro. So I'm excited for my Heat. I'm not gonna get too hype. I gotta see how it all works out, bro. We got a little bit of time before we get there. But
Yeah.
Let me kick it back to you, man, to get back at these free agency updates.
And one person we didn't mention was that you guys signed PJ Tucker, and I think that's huge because I think he's going to really help out defensively on the perimeter for you guys. Jimmy Butler is, your guys' best, wing defender, obviously. And you guys also lost Andre Iguodala, who was a wing defender for you guys as well. But having PJ Tucker there will really help out tremendously with Jimmy Butler as well, not being the only primary wing defender out there. Obviously, next person talk about is Chris Paul. Obviously, he signed a 4-year deal that could worth up to about $120 million. Obviously, we've seen the postseason run that the Phoenix Suns had. It was a no-brainer for Chris Paul, to re-up and sign back with them. Hopefully, they progress, into a contender again this season. I really believe that they will be. I believe they'll be a top 3 team in the Western Conference this year again. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they progress moving forward with Chris Paul back at the helm. One player that I just want to mention real quick that is going to actually hurt the Brooklyn Nets by not having him is Jeff Green signed with the Denver Nuggets. And I really feel like Jeff Green is really going to help the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference this year. Jeff Green was a huge contributor to the Brooklyn Nets. For a lot of the Brooklyn Nets fans out there, you know how crucial this man was to the team. And I hate that they weren't able to sign him back. That's going to be a big piece missing. So I wish nothing the best for Jeff Green moving forward. Obviously with the Denver Nuggets. Lakers made some other headline moves as well, signing Carmelo Anthony. Dwight Howard re-signed with them again after playing for Philadelphia 76ers last year. Trevor Ariza, who's also a former Laker, he was on the 2009 championship team. They also signed Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn. They signed, a lot of, players this offseason. But the key is going to be the shooting. All those players combined, preferably the perimeter players combined for like 38%, if I'm not mistaken, from the three-point line. So that's not relatively good. So the Lakers need more shooting. Not for sure they're really going to be able to get it because their roster is pretty much, solidified at this point. But also this roster is it's actually the oldest in the league. So I'm anxious to see what these guys can provide. I feel like Dwight Howard will provide a lot. Now I think Malik Monk is actually a pretty good addition as well. And I think Carmelo Anthony will be fine as well. But I'm anxious to see what Trevor Ariza and Wayne Ellington will provide to the group because those guys are really getting older. And Trevor Ariza is not the same defender he used to be when he was younger. So I'm anxious to really see what he's going to provide for the Lakers.
Hey, bro, real quick with the Lakers too. One of the moves I like, because he played with the Heat, Kendrick Nunn, adding him to the bench as well. Because obviously, if you're talking about at least just a dropping of youth infused into that team, you got him. So I think him coming off the bench. I mean, I've seen him play. I mean, he started for the Heat for a little bit. He can get to the basket. He can shoot a little bit. So I think him, as one of the very few young players that they have, he'll be a key player off their bench, I believe, as well.
No, I think he will. The one I was more so, and I just mentioned it, was Malik Monk. Yeah. I think that one to me is going to be better than Kendrick Nunn. I think Kendrick Nunn will be fine, but at the same time, like he can like you said, he can play, but at the same time, I'm not for sure if they're going to be super sold on him being the backup point guard. And the reason I say that is because another person that could possibly be a free agent again is Rajon Rondo. And I know he just got traded, to Memphis. But I'm hearing they might opt him out. They might buy him out. Sorry. So I don't know, if they're going to be super sold on Kendrick Nunn is what I'm saying. I think he is very good for them, but I'm not for sure if Rajon Rondo comes available, they take a chance with Rondo again. They probably shouldn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. One player that I feel like shouldn't have got this contract is Evan Fournier. The man is getting paid $78 million on a 4-year deal from the New York Knicks. I don't understand why the Knicks made that move. Evan Fournier, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's pretty decent. But $78 million is bad. I'm sorry. He did not deserve that much. I ain't trying to play the brother's pockets, but I'm just saying, for $78 million, they could have got a cheap. Nobody else would have gave him that. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'm not going to talk about Evan Fournier again.
Well, he went to the New York Knicks, right?
Yeah, but
that's what just tells you all you need to know. The
Knicks. But you guys are changing. But look, though,
I mean,
you guys are trying to change the culture there. I don't know what you guys were thinking. I'll be honest with you. I mean, this is bad for the Knicks. The Knicks have made questionable decisions, but this one is one I don't understand what they were thinking. I didn't think they could be this and that, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. I think they could be ignorant.
They re-up Julius Randle. They threw him a bag. They I believe they re-signed Derrick Rose as well. But it's like, bro, I think the Knicks are like, look, man,
Julius Randle deserved it. What you mean?
No, what I'm saying is but they made sure to take care of him. Is what I'm saying. But
rightfully so.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just bringing that up because it's like if you think about the Knicks, right? Bringing back Randle, they brought back Derrick Rose, D Rose. Yeah. So it's like they weren't making that many big additions, bro. So I guess in the Knicks defense, they're probably like, hey, we got some money we got to spend on somebody. So I think because of
$78 million,
we see some outlandish contracts. I know, bro. I know. Hey, I'll tell you one person who thought they was gonna get close to 78. Dennis Schroeder.
5.9 mil to be.
He won. The Lakers were offering, what was it, 4 years at 88 mil? Like I think in the either or 84. Still, he said nope. He wanted to get 100 mil, right? And he ends up getting a 1 year like prove it deal with the Celtics. And if I'm not mistaken, with the Celtics, they got players by the name of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I'm just trying to think how he's gonna fit with them. Marcus Smart re-up with them too. I mean, I don't see it as a good fit, but we'll see.
No, they need a point guard. So he's not a bad fit. He's gonna start for them. They need a point guard after for one, Kyrie's been gone for 2 seasons now, and Kemba's not there anymore. Kemba's with the Knicks, actually.
Yeah.
So he's with the Knicks. So like that. I don't
Hardy
think it's
Kemba back in New York.
It's not a bad fit because they needed a point guard to fill that spot.
For sure.
And also,
they don't need a point guard. They don't need a point guard to drop 20 a night when you got Tatum and I'm saying Dennis go try to get his. That's all I'm saying, bro.
No, I don't think so. He's not a very he just wants to be a starter, but he's not like a selfish player though. I'm not going to
he's not selfish, but let me tell you this. After missing out on all that money that guys like Evan Fournier just signed for, you don't think he's going to try to get a decent contract after this year? I'm just saying. No, he's going to try to show, 18, try to get like 18 to 20 something a game.
He's averaged 18 before.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is he's normally came off the bench too, remember? Like as a 6 man. So
yeah.
I think personally, it's just me. I think he'd probably better suited on Boston's bench. That's just me though. But
who gonna be their point guard?
Hey man,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you act like they got a replacement to go by.
I mean, listen, man. I'm just saying.
What?
They need a point guard to distribute the ball. I feel like Dennis is trying to get his. That's my opinion.
Okay, then who is that then?
They're their point guard. I mean,
no. I'm saying who gonna be that point guard to distribute the ball to them? He's not a ball hog, bro. Like you're acting like
no. That's not what I mean. I just mean I feel like he gonna be more of that. Like I'm gonna try to shoot first, get mine. Like when the team is really should be carried to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and those cats over there. That's all I'm saying.
But let me ask you this though: wouldn't it be a better look to teams if you showed that you can be in a team orchestrated environment though, that you're willing
Absolutely.
to be okay? Let me get Tatum more shots. Let me make them better. To me, that's more appealing than coming with the mindset of all right, let me do this. I don't think he's gonna do that because he knows he fumbled the bag, so he can't make no mistakes.
But
that's my point. He ain't gonna make no mistakes. He can't afford to.
In the same breath though, those assists are gonna be nice, but he's gonna still try to get. I'm just being real, like.
But you talking about Dennis like
I'm not talking. You're talking about him like this. He gotta rebound somehow. That's all I'm saying. He gonna try to get his shots up. I'm gonna just put that out there.
You acting like he Russell Westbrook or something. Like he about to come out here guns blazing or something. Like you talking about he
ain't getting no triple dope. He ain't getting no triple dubs out here. But he's gonna try to get. I'm just being real. Like we're gonna see how it flows, man. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see
all that, bro.
He's shooting first. He's looking to shoot first. Pass later.
Yeah, man. You act like Dennis ball. That's not him, bro. That's not Dennis, bro.
Hey, when you fumble the bag and you trying to re-up on the next year, you gotta just make sure he gonna try to make sure he puts the ball in the basket, bro. He's trying to get them points up. Somebody to give him a nice deal next year. Yeah. Or you gonna get another 1 year deal if he doesn't. Just saying.
Yeah. For the next thing I'm going to talk about is Trae Young, obviously re-ing up with Atlanta Hawks over $170 million, which is big for the Atlanta Hawks on a 5-year deal. Obviously, based off the postseason run he just had, was tremendous. Atlanta Hawks, I think they'll be top 5 seed in the East, personally, in my opinion. Avery kind of just went through the top 4 who will be in the East this year, and I think they'll be 5th. Between 5th and 6th with them in New York.
Ice Trae showed up, man. We didn't see it coming, man. He showed up. I'm happy for the brother. Him and then John Collins got his deal too. Came back on a 5-year deal, $125 million. I think too. not to cut in, bro, but I think with Trey's deal, I believe it can go up to 207 million if he makes, I think it's an all NBA team or something like that. I believe if he gets that, it could kick up to 207, similar to Luka's contract that he just signed for.
Yeah, no, I think Luka's, I think his is already guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed, right? Yeah, 207.
Yeah. His is
man, they getting after it though. I respect to them, man. They getting after that money, bro. I love to see it. I love to see it.
Oh yeah. Them rookies,
Excuse
rookies
me.
with these third or fourth year players are definitely going after it. Steph Curry, speaking of him, he agreed to a 4-year, $215 million extension.
Man, swimming in money, man. Swimming in money.
All them rumors, I know we didn't believe into it, but a lot of these rumors of him leaving to team up, possibly with the Lakers. That rumor was out, that BS rumor. That put that to bed. Thank God. Yeah. Another player that moved on in a sign and trade deal to the Chicago Bulls for a 3-year, $85 million contract, DeMar DeRozan. Let's see what he does with Chicago as far as with Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Vucevic as well. I think Chicago's making some noise. They'll definitely be a playoff team for sure this year, So we'll see. I got them probably 7-8 range, obviously, but they'll make it in my opinion.
They'll at least make the playing tournament. I'll put it that way.
Absolutely.
They're gonna be one of 7 to 10. I can see that for sure.
The next person I want to talk about real quickly is Spencer Dinwiddie, person that Avery doesn't give respect to, but he's gonna show you.
That's your boy, Spencer.
Spencer's gonna show you with that 3-year, $62 million contract what he's about to do. He gonna be starting in Chocolate City. Okay,
I hope playing alongside Bradley.
He's starting. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's starting. He ain't coming off the bench. Don't worry about it.
Now with that team, come on now. They need all the help they can get. Don't
worry about it. Chocolate City. Spencer Dinwiddie about to light it up. I know the team ain't good, but he gonna drop 20 plus a game. Don't worry about it, Spencer.
Probably should. He should.
Don't disrespect Spencer. You better hey, don't do it now. Don't do it.
Man, that's crazy. He got 3 for 62, and your boy Fournier got 4 for 78. But hey, man, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
Whoa.
I'm saying, I'm like, what? They must. I mean, the Knicks, man. That's why I'm telling you, they should be throwing money, man. They just wanted to see.
No, I'm just saying that just sounds bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the fact that he's
crazy,
getting paid
man.
15 more mil than Spencer Dinwiddie is disrespectful.
Another year. They said, hey, then 4 years. I mean, maybe 2 or 3, but not. Hey, man, they, that's them, bro. They, we gonna see what happens with it. Gotta give a shout out to your boy as well. You know what I'm saying? The all-time Olympic leading scorer, NBA champion, Finals MVP, regular season MVP, 2-time Finals MVP. Your boy, the Slim Reaper, Kevin Durant. Okay, he reeled with Brooklyn. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's debatable now, but I believe it. I believe it. KD getting hit. He re-up with Brooklyn to make sure he stays there. Shut down any potential rumblings of him leaving. So he's gonna be there, to build with Brooklyn with Harden and Kyrie for some years to come. You know what I'm saying? So that he re-up. I mean, there's a few other people that signed some extensions too, but shout out to everybody that got the money, man. Kawhi stayed. Obviously, we hope his knee gets better, bro. And you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see, man. I think Embiid got his money as well. I mean, a lot of players, a lot of superstars, stars. You know what I'm saying? Role players got the money this year. I love to see NBA, bro. Every year just keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher. Soon enough, when your boy Zion, when it's his turn to get paid, we're gonna see what he's gonna get. He might leave. I don't know. We'll see when it's time for him to get his money. I'm playing. He gonna stay for at least that first contract. But after that, he probably gonna leave after that, in my opinion.
Only way he's gonna leave, he's gonna demand a trade. That's the only way. He's gonna make it an ugly situation. That's the only way he's gonna do.
Well, it could get ugly down there.
They definitely could. They own his rights.
You're right.
As a restricted free agent, like they can match any offer over the next 5 years once he becomes a restricted free agent. So they own his rights.
Yeah, I think we had talked about this like way back, but I think like you said, like unlike other sports, like in the NBA, usually that rookie, that star, rookie, whatever, you're gonna at least stay with that team that draft you at least for outside of your rookie deal, probably like that first max or super max contract you can get. So like obviously with Luka and Trey, we didn't think they were gonna leave anyway, but they were gonna get to the bag, and then maybe after that, I mean, I don't see them really leaving, but if you look ahead, maybe for that next big deal, they might leave at that point. But basically, you have an NBA team has you for what, bro, about like 6-7 years before you can really go anywhere else.
Yeah.
If it's about money, if you want to get the most money you can make, you're probably gonna stay with them 6-7 years, whether you're good, you're sorry team, you probably gonna stay with them, get that money first. Then at year 7, year 8, try to venture out somewhere else. But yeah, did you have any other updates, bro, about any of the trades, free agency, anything about that?
Just real quickly. The Clippers. I'm not really super sold on them trading Pat Bev. The Rondo one I don't really care too much about because he didn't really provide much production for them in the postseason anyway. But I think trading Pat, I'm not for sure they should have made that move. Eric Bledsoe, I'm not for sure how much he's really going to help them moving forward. I think that's kind of a downgrade in my opinion. And it's crazy to say that because Pat Bev's not a scorer, but he does so much other things that ignites the team that Eric Bledsoe can't do. So
I'm with you there, bro. I'm with you. I'm not the biggest Eric Bledsoe fan over the years, man. Like this stage of his career, I don't know what they expect to get from him. But all right, bro, that's what's up, bro. So all right, y'all, we're gonna stick to the NBA. We're gonna transition because the NBA 2021-2022 season has been released. The schedule is live. And this year, the NBA celebrating, their 75th anniversary. So with that, with the NBA, bro, they have some like NBA 75, hashtag NBA 75 classic matchups this year. But so you guys know, obviously with COVID and the bubble and the last season we saw kind of the schedules were kind of whack. Now they're trying to like get somewhat back to normal. So basically the NBA is going to go back to the 82 game season. Starts Tuesday, October 19th. Regular season will end April 10th of 2022. But there's a lot of classic NBA 75 matchups that they have going on, such as the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks, Golden State Warriors and New York Knicks, Golden State Warriors and the Celtics, the Hawks and the Lakers. So some different classic matchups there. Will they'll celebrate, the different teams and players and coaches that have defined 75 years of NBA basketball. So, bro, I want to get into some of these marquee matchups we could look into, right? We still got some time before the season start, but it's always good to speculate while we have some time, right? So, obviously, everyone loves Christmas Day. That is the NBA's moneymaker. That is the day everybody is in front of the TV with your family, your friends, watching the games, bro. So, I just want to go over some of the games that we have. As you know, guys, it's a 5-game stretch on the NBA Christmas Saturday. And right here, my bad, bro. I had to scroll for a second out here. Okay, my bad. Here we go. So we start off with the Hawks at the Knicks. Replay of that playoff series we saw when Trae Young and the Hawks had shut down the Knicks in MSG. We got the Celtics at the Bucks, Warriors at the Suns. The game that everybody's gonna be wanting to see, bro. The Nets at the Lakers, and then the Mavericks at the Utah Jazz. So I want to get it, see what you think, bro, of these Christmas Day games, some of these NBA 75 games, or even opening night. I didn't mention that. But what are some matchups that you're looking forward to see in the regular season?
Yeah, so the main ones to me, honestly, are opening night. So I want to see Nets versus Bucks in a Eastern Conference semifinals matchup. This time we're actually going to have all three of the big three healthy for the Brooklyn Nets. So to me, I'm really anxious to see that matchup and see how the Bucks respond after winning the championship this season. And then with the Warriors at the Lakers, obviously I just want to see just how the big three will work with Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD for opening night. In regards to Christmas, personally, I think the Lakers will beat Brooklyn on Christmas Day. And I think Brooklyn will get them in the rematch in Brooklyn. That's personally what I think will happen. I think it'll be a very competitive game. But I see the Lakers actually prevailing through that one personally. Mavericks at Jazz obviously play on Christmas Day as well. I'm anxious just to see how the Jazz throughout the whole season. I just want to just see how they're going to be recovered from that second round loss they had, especially knowing that they lost, to a team without Kawhi Leonard on it. Yeah. And personally, a lot of people had high expectations for the Jazz actually last year. As soon as the Lakers went out, everybody was like, let's see what the Jazz can do this second round postseason. This second round matchup against the Clippers. People thought the Jazz could possibly come out the West after the Lakers got bounced. So
number 1 seed, bro. Number 1 seed.
So it's like I'm anxious to see what they're going to do. I'm also anxious to see in that matchup too, as how Luka is progressing throughout the course of the season with him and Kristaps Porzingis. Obviously, we've had a lot of chatter about Kristaps Porzingis being, not happy with his role with the team. And personally, I don't understand his issue because to me, he hasn't provided excuse my language, he hasn't provided a damn thing to that team. And I'm just being real. Everybody's
supposed to be that number two guy to Luka, man.
They called him a unicorn, and he hasn't done nothing. This man's never been an all-star, nothing. So I don't want to hear nothing about Kristaps Porzingis being upset with his role with Dallas. If that's the case, they need to ship him because he's not to help out Luka Doncic at all. But some other games I'm actually interested in outside the Christmas Day matchups. I'm actually interested to see the Warriors at the Nets on November 16th. Obviously, they had a rematch last year, but it's going to be, a lot different, this go around. Obviously, we'll talk about it soon with the comments that were just made by KD and, Draymond Green.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
I'm kind of anxious to see how that's going to progress. I'm not worried about the fans booing KD. That's not going to happen. Warriors fans respect him and for what he did for them as far as winning 2 more championships for that organization. So I'm not worried about that at all because obviously last year it was COVID, so fans weren't there when he returned. Also, another game, October 22nd, Suns at the Lakers, obviously rematch of last year's first round. So I'm anxious to see, how the Suns actually come out this next coming season. Obviously, I think they're probably going to be a little bit rusty to start the year just because they had a long season. So I'm anxious to see how they're going to play that game against the Lakers. And I'm sure the Lakers are going to come in with a lot of energy after, Anthony Davis was injured. And, obviously LeBron was injured most of last season as well. So I'm anxious to see how they're going to come with that response to this game as well. And I know you mentioned the Suns versus Golden State game on Christmas Day. I think that's going to be around the time when actually Klay Thompson comes back. So that actually should be an exciting game. Just to see how he bounces back from that injury. Personally, I'm not for sure how well he's going to be this season. Personally, in my honest opinion, I don't think we're going to see a great Klay Thompson until 2023 season, in my opinion. And I just feel after coming off an ACL injury one season and then getting injured again and having an Achilles injury, I think it's going to take him a full year before we see the Klay Thompson of old. And not more so the shooting. I'm not concerned about that. I'm more so concerned about him as a defender now because that was one of Klay's biggest strengths is that he was a very great perimeter defender and he would guard the best players opposing guard. Whether that was James Harden or Kyrie, so on and so forth. He would always guard the best perimeter player that was a point guard or shooting guard. I think that's going to hurt him a lot coming into this season. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to look. Another one is the Knicks at the Nets on November 30th. Obviously, Battle
for New York.
Battle of New York. I'm anxious to see how that's going to look. Obviously, I think Brooklyn's probably going to tear him up in that game, to be honest with you. Nobody ain't worried about the Knicks.
You're probably right, too, man. You're probably
right. But I'm sure it'll be entertaining for all the New York fans out there. I know a lot of fans say, well, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. Nobody cares about the Brooklyn Nets. You guys are just mad because the Big Three is not in New York. That's all you guys are mad about. So all them bum Knicks fans out there, yes, I call them bums because you guys getting all excited for no reason. They're not going to win nothing. all this Stephen A saying the Knicks stand up. No, the Knicks need to sit down because they ain't gonna win nothing no time soon. I don't care what nobody says. This is Brooklyn Nets town. Brooklyn Nets are going to win the championship this season. I don't care. I don't care what nobody says. I'm saying it with my chest. Hey. If these brothers are healthy, they are winning it all.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I could have just played a recording from the last time you said they was gonna win it all, but I got you. We gonna stick with it this time. We gonna stick with it this time.
Bring that energy back. Hold on, because you ain't better sit up here and say that. Yeah. When I said that, from one, when I made that comment,
yeah,
I know injuries were going to take place like that.
Of course not.
So don't sit up here and made it seem like they lost fully healthy. Don't do that.
Oh no, they didn't. I'm just going off what you said before. That's all.
I'm just saying where was this
injuries are part of the game. You're right. They're absolutely right.
I'm just saying you trying to call my team. I'm just saying last time we heard from your team, y'all got swept out the building by the champs, by the defending champs right now. So I don't want to hear nothing.
Hey man, look, at least we lost to the champs, bro. So I mean, hey man, we went down. You know what I'm saying?
We lost to the champs.
We reloaded. We reloaded. We're not rebuilding. We reloading.
Yeah, exactly.
Got Kyle Lowry.
That's what I thought.
And we're gonna make some moves in the East, man. We're gonna make some noise in the East. But one last thing, bro, with the matchups, man. I want to bring up. We obviously haven't recorded in a month, so we haven't talked about the draft, but another top matchup, bro, I believe in November. We had November 10th on ESPN. It's the top 2 overall picks, bro. So we have Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, number 1 overall pick, against the Houston Rockets and Jalen Green, who's the number 2 pick. As some of you guys might already know, that Jalen Green was talking about how he believed he should have been the number 1 pick, but then he also talked about as far as location, he's like he would much rather be in Houston than be in Detroit. I know too, bro, in the summer league, I'm not sure if you caught it, but they face off in the summer league as well. But I think it'll be interesting for those 2 franchises that are obviously in rebuilding mode. The hype of the 1 and 2 pick in November.
Shoot. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, you good, man. But yeah, so we're gonna see. That'll be a pretty exciting matchup. Now, both teams won't be any good at all, but it's gonna be pretty cool to check out these teams, man, these rookies, and see how they do for this year. Man.
I know why he didn't want to go to Detroit. I don't blame him. I don't want to go
man, you gotta pick Houston, man. And I love being in Houston. Shout out to Houston. I got fam down there. I'd much rather be in Houston any day of the week. And what they say, twice on Sunday than be in Detroit. No disrespect, but H-Town's where it's at. But with that being said, man, but right before we exit the NBA talk, we want to go to one more thing, man. We want to go to the Draymond and KD interview. Now, this interview has been all over the media, social media, debuted on Bleacher Report last week. So Draymond, I guess, bro, he's doing a new show, Bleacher Report, called Chips. And his first guest was none other than KD, former teammate of the championship roster for the Golden State Warriors. So, bro, obviously a lot of, there was a pretty good amount of hype about it. And obviously Draymond was talking about some personal things of KD, about his personal life. And obviously the big blow up that happened between Draymond and KD and how the management of Golden State was involved. So, bro, I wanted to start with you and get your reaction from some of the comments that were made by Dre and by KD in the interview. So I don't know where you want to start, but there's some good sound bites that were in there.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna read a snippet from what Draymond and KD exchange was between one another. So one of the first questions he asked was, he said, "You did 3 years in Golden State, 2 championships. Would have been 3 if you not got hurt, obviously. But in my opinion,
we all believe that. I think everybody who's a basketball fan believes that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly,
but in my opinion, after year 2, you were over it. You were done with it, and you were on the next thing. But we had the opportunity to three-peat. In my mind, what brought you back to Golden State for year 3 was opportunity to three-peat, but it didn't feel right for you. Is that right or wrong?" KD said, "That's interesting because with a lot of people, that's just talk around me for the last few years. And I get what people are saying because the last few years before I got to Golden State, I was just happy, go lucky, like just bright-eyed for the experience, not knowing what was ahead. My first year, I knew exactly what we had to do in order for us to win every night. I knew what my role was. Before, I didn't quite know what my role was every night, talking about previous team. He's played for OKC at the time. He said I had to be the best scorer, that I have to be a facilitator, that I have to get other guys involved, that I have to make threes. And pretty much what KD said at the end of that was, he was very super locked in to being with Golden State. And he would sign with them over again if he had to do everything all over again. But then as the interview, progressed, they talked about the argument that they had, in the game against the Los Angeles Clippers. Obviously everybody knows Draymond Green was dribbling the ball up the court. He fell to the ground. KD was upset because KD felt he should have got the ball to possibly end the game. Everybody knows, Kevin Durant, obviously the best player on the court. To me, right now, the best player in the game. But at that time, obviously in that game, best player on the court should have had the ball in his hands. We get that. Obviously, Draymond Green, KD had his change of words. They got into it. A lot of things were said. But pretty much within that snippet, Draymond said, I guess after the incident was over, he met with Golden State brass after the game. And pretty much they told him to apologize. And at the beginning, he said, I wouldn't do it. He said, I'm just not going to do it. So let him sleep on it for the night. Came back and said he still wouldn't do it. And I guess he told Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, the only way this can be fixed is between me and Kevin Durant, not you guys. And pretty much Kevin Durant and Draymond agreed that Steve Kerr and Bob Myers, obviously made a mistake how the way they handled the situation. Draymond Green was obviously suspended for a game. That was discipline that Golden State gave him. But in my personal opinion, I love Kevin Durant and Draymond Green, but I don't like the fact that they try to deflect blame from what took place. And in my personal opinion, I think blame has to go across the board. For one, yes. I'm going to start with Kevin Durant. And here's where I'm going to start with KD. I think KD should have been more transparent with his mindset and what he was going to do in that coming season with Golden State. I think he probably should have let it be known with those guys, meaning like Steph, Clay, Andre, and Draymond, that, hey, this could be it. I'm not for sure right now, but I'm going to be a free agent. I'm just going to let you guys know I'm going to keep my options open. I think if that had been the dialogue going into it, I think those players could have respected that a lot more. At least you're telling us that there's a possibility that you're going to leave. But when you kind of keep your options open, you're just kind of like, oh, well, I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's not good for anybody. You got to be honest, especially with a group of guys you've won 2 straight championships with. You owe them that much respect to let them know, hey, this is where I'm leaving. You ain't got to say you're leaving for sure, but you at least got to let them know there's a possibility that you're going to leave and not let the media dictate where you're going to go or what's going on within the locker room. Yeah. Second, with Draymond Green, we've heard the rumors, and they didn't talk about this on the podcast, but we heard rumors that he called KD out of his name, and he also told KD, you won because of us. When you make comments like that to one of the best players to ever play this game, that's disrespectful. Because the truth is, you called Kevin Durant after you lost to LeBron. No, I ain't about to play him like Shannon Sharp. I ain't about to say he was crying. I because he wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you knew you needed Kevin Durant to beat LeBron. Because I'm gonna tell people this: if they didn't sign Kevin Durant, I'm not for sure Golden State would have went back to the finals. And if they did, I'm not for sure they would have beat Cleveland.
That's real.
Without Kevin Durant. That's how much Kevin Durant changed life in Golden State in the whole NBA. And I'm going to just leave that there because a lot of people don't understand the impact that Kevin Durant had once he went there and how much he elevated that team to heights that nobody could stop them. And then when it comes to Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, here's my biggest issue with them. It's not even about that game. It's how they handled Kevin Durant's injury. To me, that's the biggest issue that nobody talks about. I can care less about that argument because arguments happen all the time in the NBA or in sports or life in general. You have to figure it out amongst men. So I'm not with Draymond and KD blaming them for that. They need to blame them for that injury because they should not have played Kevin Durant in that finals. They shouldn't have done that. But see, they wanted to get a three-piece so bad, and his teammates was in Kevin Durant's ear, and I know the organization was, when they should have sat him down and not played him. That's the real about the whole situation. I care less about this argument, man. I don't know why they even still talking about it 3 years later. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
And real quick, and I appreciate everything you said, bro, but I think, and bro, when we've seen the trailer for the interview, the biggest thing that people were clinging on was this whole argument, right? That was like what was drawing people to even want to see it. It was literally based upon their argument and talk and how they're going to reveal what happened. That was like the juicy detail of the entire interview that people were tuning in for. But I agree with you, like you said, 3 years later. But I mean, you want to draw, get the hype up for the episode, like, yo, they're about to talk about this in front of, like, I get it. And everything you're saying is true.
They really didn't address nothing.
I mean, kind of, yeah, it is. And so there's a few questions I want to ask you from some things I've heard in the media. Number one, I want to know your take because, as you're probably aware, and the listeners as well, Stephen A. reacting to what Draymond and what KD said, he was talking about how, where was Steph Curry in all of this, right? He talked about how they never mentioned Steph's name really at all in the interview, and especially when it came to the argument. And they're talking about how KD obviously stated in the past how, this was Steph's team. So, bro, I want to get your opinion on that. Do you even believe Steph should have had anything to do with resolving the argument? Because I know Stephen A. came out of his mouth like, where's Steph? Why are we not hearing about Steph Curry? Do you think that has any relevance, or is he kind of tripping on that?
No. He's absolutely 100% right, because Golden State is Steph Curry. And I'm not saying Steph had to like get super involved, but something needed to happen where the face of Golden State needs to come in and say, hey, we need to dead this. Whatever's going on, we need to dead this right now. And I think not just Steph, Clay, Andre Iguodala, all of them should have got involved. Yeah. Because my whole thing, if you watch the interaction on the bench, who was the main person trying to break them up? It was Boogie Cousins. Like Clay and Andre, and they were just like, it is what it is. And maybe it was because they used to Draymond and KD arguing all the time, which they always
well, definitely did. Probably Draymond for sure before that. So that could have been it too.
It was because I remember Draymond before KD got there. Draymond used to go at it with them all the time, and Steph and Clay them never said nothing then. I mean, Draymond used to get into it with Steve Kerr publicly and Bob Myers. So it's like when you allow that to happen, that's a problem. I respect Draymond, but they gave him too much leeway in that organization. They view him as a staple of the organization. But
you think it's like they act like they really scared of him for real. Like,
they really do. Like,
let's not say
I respect
like,
Draymond, but
like Steph's like, all right, I'm just, Steph's the face, but they talk about Dre being like the heart of the team, right?
He is
for real. But like, it's and that's the interesting part. So I agree with you too. I feel like, but in a good thing too. Like, they didn't like throw Steph under the bus, and they didn't really bring him up at all. Which, in the grand scheme of it, should Steph probably have stepped in at that moment for sure. But as far as like Stephen A. talking about him not being mentioned in the interview, I didn't really take offense to it. But yeah, at the end of the day, would have been helpful for Steph and Quay and Iguodala to step in. Absolutely. So I'm agreeing with you, bro, on all three fronts. They all messed it up. But with Dre, honestly, man, like, I think just a little bit above everybody else, he should take accountability for it. But as you kind of tell from the interview, they were kind of like really more so trying to get on Steve Kerr and Bob Myers of Golden State. But real quick, bro, before we transition, one last question I wanted to ask you, bro. And obviously we do our podcast. We love our sports podcast. But when we have professional athletes who are still currently playing, how do you feel about when they make shows like this to address issues of recent memory, but as they're still currently playing? And for the current team, where you're talking about, Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, in a public forum for people to see and to observe. How do you feel that Dre doing this show will translate as far as maybe other star players or great players in this game to do their own type of like sports media and interaction with other players in the NBA?
You more so asking like while they're playing?
Yeah, while they're playing, like not, like some, we obviously saw the Kobe and Shaq sit down, right? Obviously, this was years after they retired, and it was a big deal. But what do you think about those, like, while they're playing, and how that has an effect, if at all, for the current team they're playing with, whether it's the coach or the GM? Let's say if they're revealing things that we obviously as fans might assume, but we don't know until they actually reveal it. But they were doing this while they're still under contract with that said team. How do you feel? You think that we're going to see more of it now? Or you think maybe, yeah.
To be honest with you, bro, it's been happening. I mean, so Pete Game. So like JJ Redick has his own podcast, and he had a session on there where he called out it was New Orleans Pelicans. He called them out for what they did to him while he played with them. Mm-hmm. So like I think more players will start doing it, honestly.
What do you think about more star players? I mean, I know JJ's been a good player in the league, but
you're not going to see star players doing it.
You're not going to see it. You don't think, like a Steph, like a Dame, like a. We obviously know Kawhi.
They'll come on as guests. They'll come on as guests. Yeah. But I don't think we're ever going to see big stars honestly have their own podcast. To be honest with you,
not while they're playing, right? That I just wanted. I was thought it'd be interesting.
Even when they retire, playing or retire, I don't think we're going to see it. I just don't think you like you'll like. If there is one, it's going to be Kevin Durant, but not while we're playing, not while he's playing though. But I could see him when he retires. He'll do something. Now, he actually does have a podcast. I'll take that back. A lot of people don't really talk about it because he doesn't get on it too much, but he does have one. But he might be the only one outside of that. I don't see nobody really doing that, bro. Like.
And the reason I asked too, bro, it's kind of like just the social media era that we live in, bro, and like how we kind of see things transitioning compared to the previous generations of superstars in the league. And with social media today, you see some people take advantage of like LeBron, and when he makes a post, bro, the next day, Undisputed or First Take is one of the first topics they're gonna bring up. Oh, LeBron posted this picture, he posted this meme, this caption, like they're all over it like that. So that's what I wanted to see. I think we might see some more players get into it, but like you said, the superstars, they'll probably stay away from it, like you said.
Like role players.
Yeah. I think because Dre wanted now, obviously Draymond he's polarizing in the sense that a lot of people dislike him, right? He's a champion, of course, as well. So having a 3-time champion do it, yes, he's not a star player, but if we're being real, he was a key cog in Golden State. Like without Dre, as we saw in the 2016 finals, once he went down and got suspended, how that completely altered the series there. So but much respect to him. We'll see where he goes with it, who he gets to interview next. But with that being said, bro, as we start to get towards the latter half of the show, we're going to transition here. We love NBA talk, but as we mentioned in the intro, it is NFL season, man. The NFL is back. We are excited. And with that being said, bro, as we did last time, if y'all remember, if you're new to it, you'll get a gist of what we're getting into. So y'all see on the screen right there, if you're watching, we are going into the NFL in the top 10 quarterbacks. So my bro and I did a list last year, okay? Getting into the NFL season, we got into it and we went into our top 10. Now, obviously, each year the list is going to be fluid. It's going to change around a little bit. But, bro, just for context here, now, if you guys play video games, PS5, Xbox, all that cool stuff, that's what's up. If you do, if you don't, doesn't matter. But so Madden, that's a big NFL game, right? It's the only game that you're going to see from the NFL. And Madden, they had that. Madden is out. Shout out to Madden 22. I don't have it, but I know it's just dropped literally a few days ago. So they got their top 10 quarterbacks going into this season. I'm going to read the list, and then Sterling, you and I will get into it, bro. With the top 10 list that they have, number one, and this is the cover athletes too. Number 1 and 2, Mahomes and Brady in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes is a 99, Brady's a 97.
That's correct.
Now 3 to 10 for Madden. Aaron Rodgers 96, Russell Wilson 94, Lamar Jackson 91, Deshaun Watson 90, Josh Allen 88, Dak Prescott 87, tied with Ryan Tannehill at 87 and Matt Ryan at 85 overall. So, bro, I want to know, and we need to know as we head into this upcoming season, a lot of excitement. We want to know, bro, your top 10 list and mine too. But I'll be polite, man. I'm gonna let you go first, because I'm really interested to see who you might have a certain someone in this list where you rank them at.
Where you want me to start at? 10 going on down or start at 1?
Yeah, you can go from 10, bro. You can go from 10.
All right. Number 10. I'm high on this brother. I talked about him last year. It's gonna come as a shock to people. But number 10 on my list is Kyler Murray.
Okay. I like that. I actually like that.
The brother had 26 touchdowns and 12 interceptions last year and threw close to over 4,000 yards. Number 9. This might shock some people, but this guy really surprised me last year, and he showed out. Justin Herbert. Number 9.
Okay.
Touchdowns.
Going into year 2. Yeah,
going to year 2, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
You balled out. You did ball out.
4,336 yards. Now, number 8, Lamar Jackson. And the reason I have Lamar Jackson number 8, for one, I still have to see more from him more so in the postseason. Now, I think he provides, a lot with his legs and things like that. But in the postseason last year, he only complete, about 56% of his throws. So I need to see more from him, more so in the postseason. And I also think in the season last year, even though he had a great MVP season the year before, he still did great. He 26 touchdowns, 9 picks, and had close to about 3,000 yards passing. Number 7. Now, even though I believe Lamar is honestly probably a better player than this guy, but I'm gonna put Dak Prescott at number 7. I'm gonna just do it. Okay. I'm gonna just do it. I probably should put Lamar ahead of him, but I'm just gonna for this season. I think Dak might edge him out a little bit. I think he might edge him out a little bit.
Yo, can I ask you a question?
No.
I'll save it then. Go ahead, man.
We ain't talking about it right now. What you got to say, man? I'm trying to go through the list. You want to ask me a question about figure out
what's good with the bro's shoulder, man? His arm. Is he good? Or I know he had he revealed he got 2 surgeries on the ankle. I get it, but he had the arm. He couldn't play in the preseason. Couldn't get those reps. I'm just curious, as an insider of the Dallas Cowboys, do you have any updates? I heard the MRI was clean. It was good. Is his arm getting back to normal, bro? Do you know? You have the inside scoop.
Nobody, honestly, I don't think Dallas knows. Honestly, I don't think nobody knows. And honestly, I'm very concerned about it. And honestly, I probably should put Lamar Jackson at 7 because of that.
Do it.
I'm changing it. I'm putting Dak at 8. Damn it.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah, I'm putting Dak at 8 just because of that. I put him at 8.
Yeah, he got. Man.
Before his injury, he was balling though. He was balling for his injury.
He was probably going to throw close to almost 5,000 yards. Y'all still would have been 8-8. But it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah. You guys would have missed the playoffs as well still.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, that wouldn't have changed. Changed.
Matter of fact, I don't see your quarterback mentioned in this list. But okay, anyway, I'll continue. Deshaun Watson, I have him at number 6. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions last year, threw close to about 5,000 yards. Obviously, a lot is going on with him as far as sexual assault. We don't know what's going on with that. Before that, he was asking for a trade. Obviously, a lot. It's unknown with Deshaun Watson at this moment. It's very unknown with everything.
Nobody knows, man.
Crazy. Number 5, Josh Allen. I'm very impressed by this young man. This man to me is a top 5 quarterback in the league right now. And he had 37 touchdowns last year, 10 interceptions, and he threw close to almost 5,000 yards as well. And I'm just very impressed with his upside. I think he's only going to get better and better and better as time progresses. he has really revamped the Buffalo Bills into a contender in the AFC, in my opinion. Number 4 is Mr. Choke artist Russell Wilson. He had 40 touchdowns last year. Fantastic year. But what everybody knows when it came to the postseason, where was Mr. Choke Wilson? But I'll continue. Number 3.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. What? Do you want to comment? Do you want to comment?
My comment is he's in your top 5. That's my comment.
You knew he was going to be. Come on now. Look.
The way you talk about him, I thought you'd have him at 6 or 7.
No, come on now.
Disrespect, man.
No, it was disrespectful. He was not admitting that when the playoffs hits, he's nowhere to be found. He hasn't. I mean, bro, he hasn't been to divisional playoff game since 2015. Let's be real, bro. I respect Russell Wilson. Actually, I'm a fan. But what I'm not a fan of is hold on. What I'm not a fan of is people like you who give him a pass for failure. That's my issue. You gotta start holding people accountable. He ain't done nothing since the Legion of Boom got disbanded. Let's just keep it real.
He's put up numbers, but you're right. In the playoffs,
still top 5. But when it comes to the postseason, where is he? Where is he? That's all I want to know.
Okay. Hey, that's fair, bro. That's fair. Having him at 4 is respectable, so I can't even argue. I can't argue.
Number 3, Aaron Rodgers. The bad man himself. Completion percentage last year was 70.7. He had threw close to about 4,300 yards passing, had 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Obviously, beginning of the offseason, he requested for a trade. Obviously, didn't happen. He signed an extension with Green Bay as of recently. Personally, his days in Green Bay are numbered. We all know he's going to leave soon. And honestly, he needs to, because he's not going to win another championship in Green Bay. He needs to go somewhere else where he could possibly win. And I'm hoping that for Aaron, because he's too great of a quarterback to only have one Super Bowl championship, in my opinion. Also, he has to redeem himself from losing to Tom Brady last year in the NFC Championship game. Personally, I don't see Green Bay coming out of the NFC anyway, but something has to change in Green Bay, and that might be Aaron Rodgers leaving, unfortunately, for his sake.
Okay.
Number 2, I mean, we should give this man a round of applause for winning his 7th championship. The excellent, the great, the man, the icon, the legend, anything you can think of, Tom Brady. This brother right here had 40 touchdowns and 12 interceptions last year. And everybody, the media, Avery, my boy himself, questioned the man. Didn't think he could do it. Thought he was old, thought he was slow, and thought he couldn't win it again. And what does he do in his first year with the Buccaneers? Wins the Super Bowl. Changes the culture.
Yep. We know
look
this,
at
man.
Him now. No. You need to hear it again, because you disrespected the GOAT. And he beats your GOAT. He beat it. The Tampa Bay's defense demolished the number 1 quarterback in the league. Matter of fact, Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. But he wasn't that best on that day, was he? He wasn't the best that day. But you know what, though? Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. He's the best quarterback. And he threw for close to 5,000 yards last year, had 38 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Got to give him his respect. I love Patrick Mahomes, but he ain't no Tom Brady. There's levels to this. Put some respect to Tom Brady's man.
Oh, man. Hey, bro, that was great, man. I respect the list. My list isn't too different. I think more so the bottom of my list is probably just a little different from yours. Much love and respect to Kyler Murray. He was my fantasy football quarterback. The brother rushes, he throws, he gets you points, touchdowns, all that. So here's my list, bro. So someone you actually left off your list who's going to be in my top 10. So I'm going to start from the bottom too. So at number 10, so I'm looking at a lot of stats like you, bro, man. The yards, completion percentage, touchdown, QBR, the quarterback rating. There's a lot to go off of. All right, so this obviously is a heavily opinionated list, but at the end of the day, man, when we go to number 10, bro, someone you actually didn't put on your list, if I could be wrong, but I'm actually gonna put at number 10. I'm gonna go with Ryan Tannehill, bro. I'm going with Tannehill from Tennessee. Hey man, the brother, listen, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Had a quarterback. Listen, he had a quarterback rate of 106.5. The QBR was 78.3. Okay, so just off quarterback rating alone, the brother was top 5 with Rodgers, Deshaun. He was Rodgers, Watson, Mahomes, and Allen. I'm just 33 seconds. It's not bad. 3,800. Listen, I know he's got King Henry in the backfield, and this year he's got Julio and he's got AJ Brown. I'm looking for him to have another year. 33-7, bro. I'm just saying, man. Tannehill, he cracked the top 10 at 10. All right, at 10. But let me continue. At 9, bro, it's tough, man, for real. But for me, man, number 9, bro, I gotta go, man. Let's keep it real, man. I'm not gonna like this, but I gotta do it to you anyway. Number 9, I'm gonna go with your boy Dak. I got Dak at 9. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. I didn't know how you gonna feel about that, but Dak Prescott, as you know,
he's around that range.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him at 9. I'm gonna put him at 9. I expect him to have a bounce back year. I honestly, all jokes aside, like I don't like that he got hurt. Like I honestly want him to be healthy. So the brother, I'm gonna say at 9 for this year. Okay, moving up on the list now. Moving up on the list, number 7.
Who's 8?
Oh, my bad. Sorry, my bad. I'm tripping. I got Tannehill at 10. I got Dak at 9. At 8, I'm actually, this is tough. But man, I'm gonna go with your boy Justin Herbert, bro. I'm going with Herbert. Herbert.
Okay.
I believe in the brother. I mean, the Chargers, they blew a lot of leads, but like you said, bro, as a rookie, 4,336 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 picks. Okay, 98.3 quarterback rating, but I think he's gonna excel. He's got weapons. My guy Keenan Allen out there. Okay, Eckler, the running back's pretty solid. I think they're gonna be very competitive in the AFC West. Not as good as Mahomes and the Chiefs, but they might be that second team in the division, getting a wild card spot. So I'm going with him at 8. We move along here at 7. Here's what gets a little dicey. But at 7, bro, I'm actually 7. I'm gonna go with Lamar. I'm going with Lamar at 7, bro. And respect to the brother. I know Perry, you watching or listening to this, you don't like to hear this. You told me already you thought it was disrespectful. He went from number 1 to number 24 in the NFL top 100. I get that. But listen, I mean, it's a team game, but I don't believe that Lamar as a passer is going to have a super productive year to get him in like that top 5 level, but he's going to be right outside of that. Okay, I don't really believe in the weapons that y'all got in Baltimore. I'm sorry, I just don't believe in them. Not at the receiver position. But Lamar himself, I think, bro, I'm going to keep him at 7. Moving on to number 6, bro. Got to go with my guy, Deshaun Watson, man. That's still my guy. Obviously, we got to see the legal process, how things, are going to come down for him. But if we're just talking about how he did last year, now his team was awful. But the brother, again, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks, quarterback rating of 112.4. Okay, this brother threw for the most yards in the league for 4,823. Okay, played all 16 games, 70.2% completion percentage, which was 3rd behind Breeze and Rodgers. So, bro, moving along in the top 5, I gotta move next. It's tough, but at number 5, I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. I believe he deserves to be in the top 5 at this moment. The brother, he could have been an MVP. He was an MVP candidate. I think this year he's definitely going to be probably in the top 3 for MVP, in my opinion. He definitely had a big coming out year. 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, 100.7.2 quarterback rating, 81.7 QBR. So the brother balled out in QBR. he was top 3 behind. Behind Mahomes and Rodgers. So he's coming. But to round out the top 4, bro, I got Russ at 4. I know you're like, man, listen, I got Russ at 4, just like you, just like you. Now at number 3, and I already know what you're going to say.
Hold on.
Yeah,
you just gonna talk about Russ and not acknowledge what happened? Wait. Everybody see this podcast and see what I'm talking about.
I agree with you. He's at 4. We both agree. You're
trying to go right past it. Like, oh, Russ at 4. That's it. Let's move on. Like, what? No explanation.
It's the same as you. Listen, okay. 40 touchdowns, 13 picks, man. 105.1 quarterback rating, 73.5 QBR, over 4,000 passing yards. Look, the brother is elite, but I believe he needs more help. But that doesn't excuse the fact. It doesn't excuse.
Oh my God! Listen, it's crazy, bro.
The defense is not what it used to be, bro. It's just not what it is, man. I know they got Jamal Adams. I know they got Bobby Wagner still. It's just not the same, bro, as it used to be. Wait a minute. We gonna talk about your boy Brady, who I'm about to put on my list. Brady has a top defense, got all the weapons in the world. I'm just saying, man.
But hold on, where was that energy when he didn't have that in New England? Everybody was killing him his final season. That final season, they blamed everything on him. They didn't say he didn't have weapons. They didn't do that. But when it comes to Russell Wilson,
wait. Time out. I will say though, Brady did have a good defense though. I'm just gonna keep it real. They did have a solid defense that year.
I'm talking about that final season. I'm using that as just an example.
Yeah.
But even in through all them years, yes, he had a great defense. He had a great system. But Tom Brady never played with great weapons overall in his career until now.
No,
the best thing he had was Randy Moss.
No, bro. I'm focusing more on the defense side of the ball because Seattle's defense has regressed.
I'm surprised you ain't talking about the offensive line.
That's another thing too. But I'm saying, like, look, the O-line wasn't that good either. So my boy Russ we know he's elusive, but he had to run for his life. Now, if they could block just a little bit better, just a little bit, I think he's going to be able to get in the playoffs or win a playoff game. Maybe get to an NFC championship.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You keep making excuses.
We'll see.
They keep making excuses.
At the end, hey, bro. At the end of the day,
playoff game in 6 years, and you keep on making excuses. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is our show, and you up here making excuses for Russell Wilson.
You have him at 4, correct?
Yes, but don't make excuses though. Call him out. Shannon Sharp even said it the day after the Seahawks got bounced by the Rams. He said, "Look, man, we got to hold Russ more accountable." And that's all I'm asking from you. You can't keep. I'm with you. You're not wrong in your assessment of what has happened. You're not wrong. They do need better offensive line. The defense has to be better. But you need to acknowledge and call this man out and stop giving him a pass. I'm tired of this, man. Stop it.
Listen. No, seriously though, I need to see Russ do more. I agree. He has to step up. Yes, you might not have the weapons on, the defense might not be as good. The run game might not be as good. The O-line might not be as good. But you got DK Metcalf. You got Tyler Lockett out there still. You got good receivers. Yes. We just got to see it. We got to see it come together. I'll put it this way. If Russ cannot get to the playoffs or win a playoff game more so, if he can't win a playoff game, I'm gonna be with you because you can't be in the top 5 bro, and win at least a playoff game. I'm just anyway. Let's keep the list going, man, because you gonna have something to say after this too. So personally, I gotta give more respect to the MVP, Aaron Rodgers of last year. He disappointed me in the NFC Championship game, but with all that being said, bro, we just keeping it all the way real. I gotta put your boy Brady at 3. Okay. Just going into the year, I'm putting him at 3. Now, here's the deal. In the regular season, Brady threw 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. His QBR was 72.5, which was 9th in the league. 9th, okay? Quarterback rating 102.2. He's solid. He's the GOAT, the greatest player to ever play the game of football. I agree with you. But going into this year, because Aaron won MVP, I'm putting Aaron slightly ahead of him at 2 and Mahomes at 1. But Brady is number 3 for me. And I don't care what no one thinks about it. He's number 3. And we're going to keep him at 3. All right. He's at 3. You have him at 2. I got him at 3. He's the GOAT. He won the chip.
Your hate couldn't allow you to do it. Your hate couldn't allow you to do it. I'm
looking at the numbers, man. I'm looking at what I've seen
it's from the regular. Though that's my problem. Like I'm fine with you putting Aaron at 2, but I know your reasoning. You and I both know why you don't want Tom Brady at 2. It's not because of the stats that you just read. It's because of your hate for Tom Brady. That's all it is. You just want to say
Aaron was 48 tubs, 5 interceptions, bro.
Who beat Aaron at Lambeau though? Question. It's asking. I mean, we all know, but yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Brady beat Peyton a lot of times in the playoffs, but sometimes Peyton might have had a better year statistically. But you're absolutely right. Brady is the best winner, the greatest player in football history. You're right. I'm with you. But anyway, like I said, Rodgers at 2 and then Mahomes at 1 for me. So it's Rodgers slightly ahead. Look, man, he had an amazing year last year. Proved a lot of doubters wrong, but that's where I'm at with it. That's my top 10. It's okay. The list is different from last year. Obviously, Breeze retired. He's not in the game anymore. So we have some new people. Tannehill for me in the list. Josh Allen, top 5. So, but you know, obviously with Russ and Brady, Mahomes and Rodgers, they're still the top quarterbacks in the league, right? So we still agree on that. Even though the order might be a little bit slightly different, we still respect and acknowledge that they're still some of the greatest players in the game. So we want to know, man. We're gonna post it on Instagram. Y'all probably might see the post by the time you read it. We're gonna want to know your top quarterbacks. We're gonna put our list up there. But bro, with that being said, as we get to wrap up the show, we're gonna do a little quick couple minutes, bro, on a preseason update. The NFL is about to start in a couple weeks. So the NFL preseason, y'all, you know, whatever rep your team, whatever team that is. But we want to just real quick kind of just get into these rookie quarterbacks, bro. So we got some really great talent coming into the league from the draft. We have Justin Fields, who got drafted to the Chicago Bears, Trey Lance to the San Francisco 49ers, Zach Wilson, the New York Jets, Mac Jones, New England Patriots, and Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, bro. So following the first couple weeks of the preseason, I just wanted to get your opinion on some of these rookie quarterbacks. There's a few that have quarterback battles, but some of them are kind of just being spoon-fed the job. But I want to know from you, how do you feel about some of these rookie quarterbacks coming into this year? The top 5 drafted quarterbacks.
So the first one I'm going to start with is Justin Fields. So in week 1 of the preseason, he went 14 for 20 for 142 yards and a touchdown. And then in week 2, he went 9 for 19 for 80 yards and 4 rushes for 46 yards. Now, as everybody knows, and I'm sure Chicago fans are upset with this, Matt Nagy said that Andy Dalton's going to be week 1 starter. Okay. I don't like it either, but what I'm going to say is...
That's your boy, though.
Who, Andy Dalton?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, all right.
The Red Rocket.
Yeah, all right.
Cincinnati. Come on.
Yeah,
Bengals.
Yeah, no. But I think personally, we all know Justin Fields will be out there soon. Honestly, Justin Fields might be starting week 2. Personally, he's gonna be starting with like the first 2 or 3, 4 weeks in the season. Like he's gonna be starting.
I'm about to look up their schedule too, see who they play, because you're probably right about this.
It's all gonna work out. Next quarterback, Zach Wilson. First preseason game, 6 for 9 passing for 63 yards, passer rating of 86.8, and then week 2, 9 for 11, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. Even Aaron Rodgers gave him some high praise as well and said, this guy looked very impressive in his second preseason game. So the Jets, obviously did a great job of drafting him, and he's looking very promising these first 2 preseason games. So let's see what he progresses into throughout the season. Trey Lance, week 1, he went 5-14, 128 yards and a touchdown. And then yesterday, which was his best performance, 8 of 14 with 1 or 2 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And he looked very promising as well. I know San Francisco said they're still hesitant to announce who's going to be the starter, but I'm sure he'll probably be the starter week 1, and he should be.
Yeah.
One matchup I'm interested in, and this concerns Mac Jones, the New England Patriots. His preseason game, he went 13 for 19 for 146 yards. But then Cam Newton, who started the preseason game, was 8 for 9 for 103 yards. And it was a big topic of discussion. What is the New England Patriots going to do with their position? I mean, as far as who's going to start the quarterback position. I think personally, Cam Newton's probably going to start week 1. But as I suspect, Cam the Scam Newton's always going to arrive on time. And Mac Jones will be starting for the New England Patriots, and Cam Newton will be a permanent backup quarterback for remaining years of his NFL career.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but I'm saying that it's a reality that Mac Jones is coming in for this job, and he is showing you that he is going to be the man for the job. Sorry, Cam, you had your moment in the sun. Injuries took place. I get all that. But at the end of the day, Mac Jones will be the starter eventually for the New England Patriots after Cam the Scam Newton arrives on time and plays bad in week 1 or week 2. You know it's coming, bro. You know it's coming.
Oh, my God.
Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall pick in the draft, completed 6 of 9 attempts for 71 yards in his first preseason game. Very good showing as well. Was very poised in the pocket. I expect big things from him. But with this quarterback class, though, bro, honestly, this has potential to be the best that we've ever seen. It really does, as far as a collection of all great quarterbacks in one class. And I'm anxious to be honest with you, this could be one of the best classes overall with football players, to be honest with you. I expect big things from Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, he looked great.
I think Parsons, what he has shown in the preseason games with Dallas, I think he's showing promise. I just think this is going to be a very good class overall. That's not going to disappoint. And this could be a first that teams who pick these quarterbacks won't look back and be like, "Oh, we regret it." I'm hoping that becomes the case.
Yeah.
And honestly, and how I'm looking at it too, with the AFC is concerned, they already got great quarterbacks out there as it is, but then Trevor Lawrence, then you have Mac Jones possibly, Zach Wilson. I mean, that's 3 quarterbacks right there in the AFC that, that could be up and coming. You just never know.
The AFC East could be, as we when Brady was rolling around in the East, it was one of the worst divisions in football. But with these quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Tua, Zach Wilson, what's the other brother's name? AFC East. What's the other team in the East? Why am I tripping?
Who did you mention? You mentioned Jets, Patriots.
I didn't say the Patriots. Mac Jones. So all of them, like that collection of young talent in the AFC East with those quarterbacks too. First of all, man, AFC, like you said, man, it's like the quarterback pendulum has swung completely to the AFC at this point, as far as young. And now, if Watson gets traded to the NFC, maybe they'll be back on the come up. But most of these teams, the AFC is loaded with young quarterbacks, bro, with talent.
Young quarterbacks, yeah.
But I'm gonna chime in real quick, bro, and so just off of the first, I'm gonna start with the Justin Fields comment and your boy Andy Dalton. So I looked at the schedule. Week 1, they open up at the Rams. That's the L. Week 2, they play the Bengals. They could win that game. Week 3 at the Browns. I'm gonna say another L. Week 4, Detroit can go either way. So I mean, it just depends to me how bad, like you said. And I'll put it this way: if your boy Andy Dalton loses to his old team, the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm with you there, and I'm gonna say that if they lose the first 2 games with Dalton, he'll get benched, and Justin Fields will start week 3. That's my opinion on that for sure. Now we move on here, bro, and we talk about Zach Wilson. Obviously, week 2, he was 9 of 11, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 154.7 quarterback rating. And it appears that he's passing the eye test, man, with flying colors, man, in the preseason. Now, obviously, it's preseason. We don't know. But the Jets, as far as, talent at the receiver position, they got a few guys, but I think they're going to just give him the playbook and run with it, man, for the Jets and see what happens, bro. I think, personally, the player who has the biggest upside of all these quarterbacks, I believe, is Trey Lance, personally speaking. Now, he's another product of North Dakota State University, okay? Shout out to the brother. But I think just on talent alone, I think he's probably the most raw, talented quarterback in the draft. And it might take him some time to really fully develop, being with Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers in that offense, bro. You got Kittle, you got a running game, you got some receivers there, Deebo Samuel and the crew. He's got, I think, in the right situation, Trey Lance with them is going to succeed. And I know they're going with Jimmy G, bro, but let's be real. It's not going to last the whole season, okay? He's not going to keep that job, whether it's from injury, which, of course, we don't want to see or wish on nobody, whether it's going to be from injury or he's just not that good. And they're going to throw him in there because you got the Nick Bosa and some of these other defensive star players are coming back this year. So they're going to be contending for a playoff spot in the NFC West with the Rams, Cardinals, Seattle. So I think Trey Lance, from what I've seen this preseason, bro, I think if he gets coached up right, he could be potentially the best quarterback from this draft. And then with that being said, Trevor Lawrence, we know it's his job in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer down there. And Mac Jones and Cam Newton. Listen, I don't know how many games it's going to take for Bill to pull him, but I think Bill will start Cam for like a couple weeks. but bro, the first game of the preseason when Cam came off the field and Mac Jones came in, he got a standing ovation from the crowd. A standing ovation for taking a snap in the NFL. Like, they love this man already. It don't even have to do with Cam. It's just the fact that they love. Well, I'm not gonna get into the New England factor, but they love Mac Jones, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. They love Mac Jones. He tore up my Eagles in the preseason, who look atrocious, but he was 13 and 19, 146 yards. I think Cam Newton tore up the Eagles too, but I think, bro, like, I can't really predict what week it's gonna be. It might be like week 7, week 8, but like you said, bro, we gonna see how it line up for him. I know the Patriots open up at home against the Dolphins, then they go to the Jets, then they have the Saints at home, then they play your Buccaneers. So I mean, it can't. Listen, man, if he lose the first game of the year, I think they're gonna be like,
he's a scam. It's called like you see it. He's a scam,
man. Yeah, look, man.
You think you're getting something great, but all of a sudden it just comes to a disappointment. It's a scam.
You've been ranking on Cam for years, man. But you've been
right every time. I've been right every time.
Him and Jameis, bro. Lord have mercy. But you're right. I'm with you, bro. We're excited, man. Like I said, the preseason will come to an end soon. By the time y'all hear this, you're probably gonna be watching that third preseason game. As we all know, this year there's 3 preseason games, not 4. So the third preseason game is really gonna be more of like just a lot of these players vying for a job on the team. All the starters probably won't play. So we'll see, man. I know we're excited for the opening week, bro. A lot of things going on. Your boy's getting married on the 12th. Opening kickoff is September 9th. The Bucks and the Cowboys, that's gonna be. I'm excited for the game, bro. That's the one time in my life I'm gonna be rooting for your man, Tom Brady. I'm gonna be rooting for him that game, just for one game. I'm rooting for him for that game against Dallas.
Keep that same energy. Matter of fact, don't even watch the game because you hate the team and you hate him. You hate Dallas. You hate Tom Brady.
Hey, I hate Dallas more. I'll be honest with you. You know that. For me, I definitely hate Dallas more. So I can't wait to see that game. I hope the Buccaneers blow them out, which they probably will. So I'll definitely enjoy that game. But with that being said, bro, a lot of exciting things coming up for us personally. Obviously, the podcast is the first time being back in a minute. We're going to get back in the NFL heavy very, very soon. Might even have a live show maybe on that Thursday. We'll see, bro. We'll see what we're getting into. We'll see for the NFL kickoff. We will see. Well, with that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Savery Show. We're just getting right close to that hour and 30-minute mark. We had a lot to get into. NBA talk, NFL talk. We'll be making some more posts, being active more on social media, getting back into it. Shout out to everybody who tuned in from YouTube, watching us live. And also, shout out to everybody who's listening through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Stitcher. The list goes on and on and on. Google Podcasts. Shout out to all y'all tuning in. We're back. We're going to try to get on here a little more consistently. We've got some things coming on next few weeks, so we're going to see. But definitely as the NFL season kicks off, we're going to be live with it. Definitely looking forward to start the season, bro. And just make sure, as you see at the ticker below, if you are watching this right now, follow us at the Savery Show. Savery spelled Savery. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And bro, before we check out, man, you got anything else you would like to say to the fans, to the listeners?
Yeah, I just want, if people don't know the definition of a scam,
Oh my God.
It's a dishonest fraud.
Jesus, Lord have mercy.
I just had to put that out there. I'm sorry.
See, and I thought you were going to take the opportunity to pay homage to the shirt that you're wearing right now. But it's all good. You wanted to go to the scam. That's all good, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace.
We know what this is.
That's a dope shirt, bro. It's a dope shirt.
We know what this is, okay? Okay, we know what this is, but I had to take a moment to talk about a fraud. Okay,
so the complete opposite of Kobe Bryant.
The complete opposite. The complete opposite.
Oh man, but hey man. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Got a few laughs. Got some good information. Y'all take it easy. It's been real. We'll be with y'all soon.
All right, peace.